Sitting around watching the golf. No, actually, I turned on the SEC network, and they had the Arkansas spring game. And they were talking how upbeat they were because they went 7-6 and won the bowl game, and the future's looking super. So, and it is, and they have a right to be very happy with the way they finished the year. And certainly we were too. We're very pleased and upbeat that we were able to have a winning season last year and win the bowl game. I think most of our fans know. I think there's only a couple of us, actually 3 teams in the Division I Power 5 conferences that have won 4 straight bowl games, and we're one of those 3. So that's something we can hang our hat on. But we're looking forward to whatever happens this year. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but we think we got a team that can be very competitive with everybody we play. And obviously, the first one's against North Carolina in about 3 weeks or so, and we'll start game planning for them 10, 12 days before that game. Right now, we're just practicing what we're going to do offensively, defensively, special teams, and hopefully try to find the best players to put out there. But we are unknown. I didn't realize, reading some of y'all's articles about our quarterbacks have combined for, 8 yards passing or 10? 8 passes. How many yards? About 8. Only hit 2. 29, okay. And after Pharaoh, no other wide receivers caught a pass. Is that right? Shamir, he got 2 for about 8 yards, right? So we got some players that need to prove to everyone that, hey, I can play wide receiver, and, hey, I can play quarterback. So we got a lot of coaching to do, though. I can assure you that. On offense, defense, special teams, we got a lot of coaching to do. But players have had a wonderful attitude. Our special team guys have really been hustling, maybe a little better than last year. But again, the finish of last year got us pumped up, rejuvenated, and we're ready to give it our best shot this year. I really like what our defense is doing. Safety's back there almost every play. We don't have any of those funny coverages where there's nobody back there. And guys are really understanding their assignments and their roles. We had very few mental mistakes, I think, in a scrimmage yesterday by the defense. Offensively, we had a bunch of them with so many freshmen on the second offensive team. So I guess that was expected. But anyway, we're off and running and looking forward to practice tomorrow, 8:15, and away we'll go. Okay,
what we got? Microphone to you, David.
Steve, have any leaders popped up out of the team so far? Maybe
the normal leaders. A lot of players had exceptional summer workouts. Pharaoh, Brandon Shell, T.J. Gurley, Jarrell Adams had an excellent summer. We don't have any loud guys so much, and I sort of like the guys that lead by example. So we've got several older players that have really, I think, demonstrated excellent leadership.
Brian?
Kind of staying with that, has anything stood out to you? Somebody surprised you over the first week of practice that you didn't really expect?
No, not unless it was one of the defensive players, and Coach Hoke and Ward and Adams and Coach Botkin, they could probably tell you a little bit more about that. No, offensively, we've, of course, Pharaoh got banged up first day. He fell on his hand funny and sort of sprained his hand, and then he got kicked in the knee or something the other day, so he's out another 2 or 3 days just to make sure. He's not hurt seriously. So with him out, then it's a bunch of players that hadn't caught many passes, and a bunch of quarterbacks hadn't thrown many, and that's just the way it is right now. But we got a lot of work to do, especially with quarterbacks and receivers right now. Running backs are looking good, and they're all very healthy right now. Brandon, David Williams, and those those young guys are pretty good. Mon Denson and A.J. Turner. Those 2 freshmen look quick and very good backs.
I actually had a running back question. David Williams specifically, have you seen anything from him that makes you think he's ready to take the next step?
Well, right now, I would say both of them will play a bit, sort of like Brandon and Mike Davis did last year. And that's where we are. You know, running backs do get hurt occasionally more than other positions. So we'll just have to wait and see how that works out. But those young guys are good. And a couple of walk-on players, Darius Polk and Rod Talley, are very good players also. My voice is a little weak. I didn't think I was yelling that much this week, but I must have been somehow.
Steve, I guess maybe it's kind of an unwritten rule that you like to redshirt your freshman offensive lineman. Will you guys be able to do that this year with the depth?
Yeah, it depends on injuries. If they don't play a lot, we'd hope to redshirt them. And obviously, we're glad we redshirted Brandon Shell. Brandon came back for his 5th year. He probably would have had a shot in the NFL, but I think he realizes he can play a lot better than he played last year. And he's physically, I think, stronger and quicker than he was last year.
Another question on your freshman class of offensive linemen. Everybody's been so impressed by them. Is it just their talent level, or have they shown an aptitude at the college level?
Well, they haven't played yet, so we'll reserve a lot of praise for them when they start playing in the real games. But they do have good attitudes, excellent attitudes. They hang around together. They're all fine young men. And I'll let Coach Elliott talk about them a little bit more. He watches every move every day. And we think eventually all 4 of them, actually 5, with Corey Helms. He has to sit out because he transferred from Wake Forest. But if he was eligible, he would probably be playing a lot this year also.
Steve, as far as the quarterbacks go, do you have like a timetable when maybe after the second scrimmage or something?
No, they're still pretty. In fact, they're still pretty even. After reviewing the tape, you always. Right after the scrimmage, I sort of thought maybe Connor Mitch had played a little bit better, but after watching the tape, they were all very, very close. They were all very similar statistically, like they've been ever since the spring practice, and now they're statistically all very close. But it'll work its way out, and we'll keep scrimmaging and keep letting those guys play a little bit more and see what happens.
So you mentioned Jarrell Adams having a good summer. Given the inexperience of the quarterbacks and the receivers, how much more important is his role going to be this year?
Well, hopefully Jarrell will have a big year. We keep thinking he's going to bust out and really have a big year, and he should this year. It's his last go-around. I think this is his 5th year. So Jarrell, he'll get a lot of opportunities, and hopefully he'll have a big year. I think he's ready. He's ready to go.
Coach, you talk about the quarterback battle being even right now. If it still was like that 2 weeks from now, what would be a defining characteristic in a guy to help separate them from the pack?
Oh, probably corn flip sometimes. No, just kidding. No, just kidding. There'll be something will happen that will go. And, I mean, if they're all very even, we may say, hey, you're going to play the first couple series, you're going to play a couple, see what happens. Again, you got to watch players in real action, as we know. And even those little scrimmages that we have, some guys get a little nervous. Now we'll see the next one if they can improve and correct some mistakes they had yesterday.
Donnell Stanley and Malik Young, are they ready to play as reserves, obviously, but, I mean, if you needed to put them in there? Hopefully in 3.5 weeks they will be. Scrimmage yesterday, they didn't look very ready. Donnell wasn't that bad. He only had one assignment error that I remember. Malik had 2 or 3. But, yeah, those guys are young, very young, and hopefully they got the ability, though. They both are talented young guys. They should be all right in time.